Uses and gratifications theory states that people actively choose specific media to satisfy their personal needs. This theory states that we use media not just for information, but for entertainment, social connection, personal identity, and even escape. Instead of being passive consumers of content, we are active decision makers who select media based on what we want or need in the moment. Last semester, I had to endure a particularly stressful finals week, and I found myself constantly scrolling through TikTok. I wasn't looking for anything specific, but I wanted short, funny videos to take my mind off of my academic stress. I remember sitting in the library with my friends in the middle of the sounds of typing nearby. My heart rate would gradually slow down as I relaxed, and for a few minutes, I'd forget about the exams, papers, and deadlines. I wasn't just being distracted, I was actively choosing this media to feel better. I also noticed my friends doing the same, sharing memes, watching comfort shows, and using media to manage stress, feel connected, or just escape from the moment. Now that I've discussed this experience, I will now make some inferences. This clearly aligns with the uses and gratifications theory. My friends and I weren't passively consuming content. Instead, we were using it to meet our emotional and psychological needs. I learned that media serves different purposes for different people, and the same platform can fulfill multiple needs like relaxation, mood management, and social connection. The feeling of being overwhelmed drove us to seek comfort and distraction, and TikTok was the perfect tool we used to cope with that stress. Now that I've made some inferences, I will discuss how these inferences can be transferred to other situations. I would use the uses and gratifications theory to better understand not just my own media habits, but also how others interact with media in daily life. This theory helps explain why people turn to specific platforms or content during certain emotional states, like using music to relax, or social media to connect, or watching the news to stay informed. It can apply to personal relationships and mental health. For example, if I get particularly stressed or upset, I know that I have an outlet I can turn to. It reminds me that media choices are meaningful and tied to real emotional or social needs. In conclusion, the terms from our text, such as active audience, gratification, and media choice, help me see media use as intentional, not mindless. Before, I saw scrolling or binge watching as an act of laziness or avoidance. But now I understand these actions as ways people meet real emotional and social needs. The specific language shifted my perspective on social media scrolling from being passive and meaningless to purposeful and very revealing of human nature. This new understanding reminds me to be less judgmental of how others use media and more reflective of my own choices. It gives value to everyday habits and shows how media plays a deeper role in how we cope, connect, and find comfort. Remember, we choose media to meet needs. Thank you.